Good morning, Mixed Diabetes World. Well, I guess it's time to start a new blog. Not a new blog, but I haven't done this since Sunday, so. Anyway, I want to talk today about the general public as doctors. Stay tuned. Have you ever been at the office or at school or anywhere and someone finds out you're diabetic? They all of a sudden become a doctor and they know what's best for you. And it can be a real pain. Now, I know a lot of it's done with good intentions, but people don't know the ramifications. So often, they find out you're a diabetic. Oh, you can't eat that. No, no, no. Oh, you have to go running 12 times a week. And, oh, my grandmother lost this. She should have done this. And, controlling your diabetes becomes a very personable thing. Come on, Nico. Come on. And you need to wade through this, and if someone brings up a good point, now sometimes they do bring up good points, but well, you really should do this, I'll give you an example. It was actually, I was at work on my birthday and I decided I'd have some potato chips. I don't normally eat potato chips. And I bought a bag at the lunch table and was eating it. A small bag. And this lady who I've worked with for years said, "Oh, you can't be eating that. You're a diabetic." Oh my God. No one told me. So they think that all diabetics have to eat celery sticks and carrot sticks all day. And I politely turned to her and said, "Well, thank you very much." Now, I know I'm not the smallest guy, but the whole point of counting carbs now is if you want something, if you go out to dinner and you see a dessert, and you want that dessert, you can have that dessert. Just don't do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And you've got to make sure you know your carbs. And take the proper medication. That's the rule of thumb for any type 1 diabetic. Type 2s, if you're counting carbs and taking medication, maybe, I'm not sure. But type 1s, they realize growing up or in everyday life, it's not easy for a diabetic. You can pretty well eat what everyone else eats, but you just have to pace yourself, take the proper medication to cover it, and you usually fly right by. Nothing's worse than having people after you. And I was teaching a class, and I personally only had 15 minutes to eat, and then I had to get back to class. And this lady in the line said, "Oh, well, you're diabetic. You should get up and you should go out for an hour walk." Well, I only have 15 minutes. "Well, you should be walking all the time. I see you get on and off the bus. You should be walking home." Well, yes, everyone has an answer. And again, I know it's good intentions, but it can spur doubt into what you're doing of control. And you need to lift yourself up out of that and say, well, I know I'm doing the right thing. My doctor has explained it. And they almost expect a whole reasoning why you're not going to do it. And it's kind of like, no, my doctor and I have discussed this, and this is the best course of action. When I was a member of a youth group as a leader, there was a person who some members of the group or the area said this person shouldn't be working in a store because, her diabetes is so bad. And, it was like, they had a dentist call her doctor. And it's like, if a person knows when they can't work, it can't work. And that would be a discussion between the boss of the chapter, but it wouldn't be pretty much for everyone. And what ended up happening was they kept trying to bring all her health out in the open, and yes, everyone can discuss it, and everyone was chattering. And this person got up, they had a general meeting. There were other things going on, but they had a general meeting, and she finally got up and said, "I'm healthy as I can be. Get off my back." And, it was just this 7 people that decided that this person shouldn't be working. It had nothing to do with her ability. It was all, she's getting old. We should have young people. We're a young organization. And this person had done nothing to. So it can be very easily, you can be picked out and And so often people will prescribe things for you. Oh, did you ever try this cream? And I have mentioned in this video a number of times that yes, I pretty well use a chair to get around because my diabetic neuropathy. And I'm sorry, but I don't really follow products that, oh, you recommend, but you just happen to be selling it. And I went to my doctor and prescribed that, and they pretty well say, yeah, it's got some stimulants in it that makes the skin tingle, which everyone thinks something's happening. It's not. So, you're going to get an awful lot of naysayers. And, oh, you got to do this. Oh, got to do that. Now, this is different than if somebody said, well, back in my day, we could only do such and such. Keep with your treatment plan. And if someone comes up with a good idea, well, ask your doctor. But you got to remember that most people don't go through lives with diabetes. They've just picked up little tidbits, and sometimes they can be right if you are slacking. But if they come up with good ideas, get it checked out first. Don't just go off and saying it because your boss said it, or your boss's wife said it, or find out the facts. Research. Have a great day.